Hey everybody, I have a different video for today, and I'm going to make it as quick as possible, straight to the point. Nevertheless, it's all about planting at home, farming at home, everything you can do at home on a budget and not go nuts. I'll post the links in the description below of all the different products that I bought, and that's about it. You guys can find it, and you take it from there. So let's get straight to the point, because I'm tired of videos that fucking take forever. So, what are we talking about today? So, what you guys see here, I'm going to sit down on this bed, and this is what I call my nursery. It's just a regular stacking shelf. I've had it for years, so don't even ask me how much it costs, because we've had it since I was like 9, probably. So I got a lot of different little projects going on here. So first thing we're going to start off with is these trays. These trays are great. They got vents on them. You can adjust them. They're very simple to do. I have them fully open. Inside of here is different pods. So these pods are all peat moss. So as you can see, like this one here says marigolds. We got cilantro in some. We got jalapeno peppers. We got down here, we have some more jalapenos. And we got some lavender as well. They're sitting on top of a mat. So there's a mat that's here. It's a heated mat. And that's what I got going on here. So each one, as you see, one's 90 degrees and one is, I think, 84 or 85. The top green light means that it's heating. When the light goes out, it's at heating temperature. I can drop the temperature down so they're not always running. But so the purpose of the mat, of the heating, it actually helps with the growth of it, because you got to remember, this stuff it's cold all year round. Okay, I mean, we're in New York, so it's only warm in a couple months. Once it's warm in a couple months and it's actually warm in here, and if I'm growing anything else, depending on how warm it is in this room, I might drop the temperature down on that because I don't need it, but it doesn't matter, because then if the room's warm, then the mat's warm, and then the temperature it stops reheating. Nevertheless. Alright, so a lot of stuff that's all in here is all seeded related. Okay, and then we got a little different other projects going on. I got peanuts in here. I forgot what I'm doing in here. I'm messing around with asparagus, seeing if I can get the asparagus to grow from a stalk. The lavender. So these pods are peat pods. Okay, so like I said, I'll post that in the link in the description below where you can get those. I get them from Amazon. They're great. If nothing grows, I take the pods and I break them in half. I get all the seeds or anything that's inside of them. I remove it and I put it into what I'm planting. In the back over here, I have 2 branches that are from a peach tree, 2 different peach trees that aren't growing this year. So I'm see if I can try to get them growing again. This is my mysterious plant. Supposedly it's an autumn berry. So autumn olives are illegal to have in New York. They're an invasive species, but I don't know if it's honeysuckle. The problem is that the leaves are kind of yellowish now, but at the time they were white, and I got them from, I found them on the side of the road. Just gonna say that. I tried it in water. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. I put it actually in one of the pods, and it actually looks like it's growing, or it's just pure dumb luck that it just looks like something's going on. In the back, I have store-bought basil. I put it in water. Doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Up here is store-bought parsley. It's cut and it's just sitting in water. I changed the water. I got to change it today. See how it's kind of got like a cloudiness to it. In the back we have a top of a pineapple as well that's sitting in water, and it's getting a little cloudy. And it's just regular tap water. See, the tap water out here isn't as bad as a lot of places. So it's got, maybe a little bit of chemicals in it and stuff, but nothing insane. And because the sprinklers run off of the same tap water, that's why they're sitting in tap water. Because if they sat in bottled water, it's completely useless. Okay, so we also have grow lights as well. I'm not using the grow lights that much until something's growing. So we got like the marigolds. So the grow lights here, I'm going to just hit the power. You guys can see them. They're just zip tied. So if I turn them on, that's great. It helps with the growing process. But when you're in the nursery section over here, nothing's really growing as it is. Most of the stuff is in a pot until it starts growing, like they are now. And then they got timers, or I could just shut them off manually. If I see stuff growing in it, I'll turn them on just to help as well. But because it's outside by a window, it gets sunlight, but it's a cloudy day today, so I turned it on. And it's just going to be a manual shut off because I don't know what time it is right now. Otherwise, I'd set the timer on it. But nevertheless, when it gets dark, I'm always looking at these all day long. So there's the rest of that possible autumn olives that are back there. You can kind of see those guys as well. They get watered about once to twice a week. Over here, as you can see. So I know I'm going to like jump around a lot. So you can see the green leaves on top of here. This guy's getting moved out. I have 3 different locations that stuff goes to. So in the nursery section, once the leaves and the plant starts to take off, and it's touching the top. So once it's touching the top of the ceiling, let's smack it like that. Right here, you can see it. Okay, it's coming down. It's a pumpkin seed. Once it touches the top, like it is today, I move it to the next stage. We're going to go over there, do the next stage. And the pods that I'm talking about, the peat pods, this is what they look like here. They come in a box like this. And all you do is, and I'm telling you this works the best, I've done this for years, is you take very, very hot as your tap water can, and you just put it in in a container in the tap water, and it will expand to a big bag that looks like this. Right? Alright. So once it expands to that big bag, there's a little top on it, you rip off, dig down to where you have to, you put your seed, you pat it, and you stick it in one of these trays. You don't need a heating pad, but since I bought the heating pads after watching somebody else, I've noticed a lot better germination of my crops, because before they were just sitting on here, and for the past couple months it's been like 40, 30 degrees outside. This room, we have oil heating, so we run our heat really low. So this room would be like sometimes like 50, 60 degrees. Nothing's really doing anything. So once I put the mats under it, and then because the mats are this size, you can see the mat here, and it kind of sits dead center. The outer ones don't really get it. We got a little water drips from here. So you always want to wipe it down. I'm going to wipe that down after the video. But nevertheless, I take them all off, and I water them. What do I water them with? I got a spray bottle, okay? And I just use a stream on it, and then that's just water, and then here is a mix. So what's actually inside of here, and I made a big batch of this stuff. It's actually it's banana peel, and I think it's like banana peel, cinnamon, orange, and a small amount of coffee grounds, leftover coffee grounds, and I blended it together, and then I made fertilizer. It's natural fertilizer. It's none of that chemical crap, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to transition now to the next stage of where things would go from outside of the nursery. The big ones we can keep, the small ones just throw away. Alright, so now we go to the next stage. So once those touch the ceiling, just like that one I showed you, which is a pumpkin seed, now we go out to the next stage. And we've got actually a lot of things going on here too that you guys are going to see eventually. So now this greenhouse here is a mix of herbs and also transplantables, meaning that there's only certain things that stay inside of here, and this whole floor is going to get changed. I'm actually putting a floor in here instead of the dirt because I've been having issues with critters getting inside, so we're going to stop that shit right away. Hence the reason why you see traps and stuff, trying to figure out who the hell's getting inside the greenhouse. It's either my neighbor's rats, thank you very much, or my little squirrel buddies that have a tendency to go after the peanuts I'm trying to grow. So anyways, down here we got cilantro, and they got to go for a little bit longer. They're going to get moved out. And you can see sometimes like the pods, whatever seed I planted, like these were beans. Obviously nothing took off. This is basil and stuff. Got a little discoloration on it, but that's fine. Basil can stay in here, but the basil can move. You got to remember too, when you're growing something like this is going to be huge. And we've had all these containers in here for years, so if you're going to ask me for pricing, these are like You know, you're looking at 15 years old plus. So they were probably like 20, $10 back then. Now they're like $600 now because everybody's freaking insane. Got parsley over here. As we slip over, we have red potatoes. We got sweet potatoes I didn't take off, and we got yellow potatoes. I call them yellow potatoes because they're yellowish. These guys will stay in here because it's a big pot, and potatoes like to do things. These guys were store-bought. These are green onions. So I bought literally green onions, and they were small, with the roots attached. And now look at them. They're great. And what I'll do a lot is once you start seeing this, I'll come by with my cutter, and I'll cut all this dead shit off, and what it does is stimulates it to grow. These are all seeds that came out of fresh peppers. So we got a red pepper, orange pepper, and a yellow pepper. Once these guys get a little bigger, they get moved out of here. And here we have beets, with an actual slice of a beet and stuff. This guy can actually get moved soon. He's kind of like a little wiggly here, so I'm probably going to move him today. I got 2 radishes in the back. I'm going to move those guys today. These are tomato seeds. So these tomatoes that are growing here are actually just from a slice of a tomato. It's fucking awesome, right? We slide over here, we got dill, and like I said, we got another couple things. We got one little tomato that's trying, he's going to stay for a while. We get over here, we have garlic slices that aren't doing anything, beans that aren't doing anything. We got tomatoes in the back that are running. We got a large cherry tomato that's in the back right corner. Over here was my peanuts. And then since somebody was in here eating the peanuts, so then I just threw other stuff in here that's just got to sit and relax. Tomatoes and stuff, I'm going to move those guys today. Orange, yellow, and red pepper are fucking moving nice. So I might move those guys today. So basically what happens is everything that's going to be immovable ends up in here, and it's going to go for a little bit. So it's going to stay in here for a short period of time. Once it gets to a certain height, it gets moved and it gets put into the next section. I'm going to transition. We're actually going to explain something else as well. So these greenhouses, we've had them for a while. Like I said, the price on these things, I think $500-$600. I might be wrong. We have a thermometer inside that shows the temperature and the humidity level. And also another thing I forgot to mention too is with the windows. This will get very hot in the summer in here. So you can get that off of Amazon. I'll post that link in the description below. I think it senses the heat or it's sunlight or something like that. We got to wash the roof of these. You got to wash these as well. I got to wash the top of these. I'm going to do that as well today. But basically what happens is there's a cylinder in there and it hits like a certain temperature and it actually opens the cylinder and opens the window by itself. So it's really fucking cool. One less thing you got to do and one less thing you got to forget about. The 2 garbage pails out here, these are compost pails. They got a bunch of holes drilled on the sides and the bottom. In here is all the clippings, the cuttings, and all the scraps from our food. All go into here. And, man, that smells like compost. And currently we have maggots in it. Maggots actually eat the decaying material a lot faster than worms do. So if you have maggots, that's great. What do I stick in here? I stick everything in here minus packaging. So, like last night we had steak, right? So the bones from the steak will go into here. Bones from chicken bones will go into here. If you have anything like any type of like vegetable or fruit, any byproduct that you throw away, I just toss right inside of there. I mix it up, and then, probably like today when I wash the top of the greenhouses, then I'll add some water to it, and it just helps with the process because we got all this like stringy shit. This shit's like fucking annoying. I could throw that in there as well. Okay, so, and the bricks are being used for another project with the greenhouses, so like I said, that's a whole other video. This is currently the vegetable greenhouse. We got tomatoes, we got large cherry tomatoes that are going on here, we got a bunch of seeds of tomatoes that we were screwing around with, and obviously it's going freaking rampant in here. We got red peppers, we got peas, we got zucchini freaking going off in the back, and a couple things that really haven't done anything. Cucumber. We let it go for like a couple more weeks, and then we move it all out. Everything gets watered by hand with a hose, hence the reasoning why I said tap water. And a lot of the different trees and the stuff that you're seeing is all stuff that I had bought and planted back
couple months back, or a year or so back. Anyway, so this is what I had started doing today. So originally I was transplanting. I went from the nursery to the greenhouse to here. And the problem was I have weeds chasing after everything. So I was like, you know what? I got to do something different. So I had bought this pre-Civil War / COVID era plywood. Cost me nothing. Now it's like $80 for a sheet. Some shit like that. 3/4 inch plywood. I bought some cheap spray paint, and obviously the spray paint was crap. I tried to paint them a little black quick. It is what it is. So I don't really care. It serves a purpose. I bought these planters off of Amazon. I bought 36 of them. They're not going to be spaced as close together as they are. They might be spaced even further apart, as stuff starts to grow and take off. I have rodent flashing lights. It actually works. They do work really good. I have them facing each other. Sometimes they set each other off, so I got to put them in different spots so they stop setting each other off. But they're solar powered, so it's great. They make this weird clicking noise that I hear that freaking irritates me after a while. Nevertheless. So I transplanted all these guys today from that section, and I put them in here. And I put them in groups. We got sweet corn, radishes. Don't know what these guys are. The labels weren't there. Arugula. As we migrate down the line, got peas in the back, pumpkin over there. That one pumpkin from before, even though it's going in the greenhouse, it'll eventually come out here. Cilantro, zucchinis. These zucchinis are smaller than the other zucchinis because these were planted later. We got carrots over there. Those carrots are actually from a carrot sliced off the top of them. These are actually from potato eyes. It's really small for a container for potatoes, so it's kind of more or less of an experiment. I might have to actually put them in like a wine barrel. That's celery that was cut from the top, and then we got a lot of empty ones here. So this strip here is 3 sheets of 4x8, 3/4 inch pre-treated plywood. So it's going to last a lot longer than it is just non-treated. And the reason why I went for this is to deal with the weeds and the grass and stuff growing up between the plants that were over here. And then the planters are more manageable as well. And I might have a little issues and stuff here and there, but it's an experiment, something different I'm doing this year. Probably next year, obviously, once I hit a lot of eras this year, I'll probably do something a little different. But if you want to run a stretch like this, it's 3 sheets of plywood and it's 36 planters. And I know I'm going to have to buy that for this side as well. I ran out of plywood, unfortunately, so And it took, for the 36 planters, it took actually 3 bags of soil that I grabbed from Home Depot. It's, looks like it says Kellogg's on it. It's this pink bag here. It's raised bed, potting mix soil. It's a heavy fucking bag. And I think I just broke the container inside, which I did. Of course I did. Fucking Chinese container that was 30 years old, just broke it. But that's basically, my transition from the nursery to the greenhouse to out here. Before I used to just keep it in the greenhouse, and then we produce so much that we end up actually having so much more left over. So being I'm on the carnivore diet, I do mix in herbs, I do mix in vegetables and fruits into my diet in small amounts. It's just how it goes. It's just how it is. What am I gonna say? Everybody says, you're doing like a mix on it. I'm just, I'm doing what I'm doing. But it's fun. It's fun. I love doing this. It's actually very fun. It's very entertaining. It's exciting to watch stuff grow. To be able to do it on your own, and once you get stuff growing and you get a system going, you could really weed yourself off of supermarket food and stuff. You save so much money because a lot of these seeds, if you think of it, like over in the vegetable greenhouse, all those tomato plants that are growing, we're going to have 8 million tomato plants. It's like grass in there right now. All it came from was, we had 4 tomatoes, and we took one tomato and we sliced it, and we just put the slicing inside. So one tomato is growing all those plants, because every little seed took off. And it took a couple weeks for everything to get going. So this is just my setup. If you guys have any questions, concerns, information, any tips, any advice, I am completely welcome to it. I want it. I want to know it. The more I learn, the more we learn, the more everybody learns, the better off we are. Because the way the world's going, prices are going up. The president's fucking mumble rapping and stuff behind the freaking teleprompter. You know, we have to start doing stuff on our own if we want to survive, because it's not even surviving physically, it's surviving financially. And financially, a lot of people are struggling because of this, of what we're dealing with, between the cost of gas, the cost of living, the cost of food. I mean, I went to go buy a can of spray paint. It used to be 99 cents at Home Depot. Now it's $1.25, and I bought 3 cans, and the plywood looks like shit. But, you know, I don't care. It's going to change color from weathering anyway, but it's serving a purpose to stop the weeding. And I've done you know, the mats before. I've done the fabric and stuff. I've done that in my past, and if you don't stay up on it, it's a pain in the ass. And honestly, the plywood is the best option, because all you got to worry about is the planters itself. Next thing I'm going to say before I end this video is I'm also have marigolds, like you saw back there, that are growing. Marigolds will help keep pests away. So I'm going to be putting marigold planters in the center of the rows. It's going to help with pests, it's going to help with bugs and stuff, and they're going to be spaced maybe 4 feet, maybe 2 feet, 3 feet. I don't know what it is, you know, what I'm going to come up with when I'm going to run them down the center, and it'll help everything else. And these little clicking guys and stuff they work good as well. My sprinkler system is, you know, something I bought a while ago from Amazon. It's great, it works. You know, it's nothing fancy, it's just, you know, that. You know, and it waters the whole area perfectly. And that's it, guys. So like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Please comment below. Please, any information. I definitely want it. I love learning new stuff, and I love helping people and getting the right information across. Everybody have a wonderful Saturday. This is Mike from Mike's Custom Works, and we will be eventually posting vehicle videos. And if anybody wants an 84 Camaro, please let me know. That is up for sale once I can get it out of the backyard. Because need to move on to other projects. I don't want it to just rot away. So anyway, everybody have a great Saturday. Later.